Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning into my channel. My name is Kina. So, we're gonna go over Real Housewives of New Jersey. This is season 12, episode 3, A Very Jersey Kegger. And on this particular episode, it's where Louis, Teresa's man, hosts a pizza party in hope of mending the Gorga and Judice families. Dolores comes to crossroads in her relationship with David, and Jackie starts to question Dolores' loyalty, provoking a rage in Dolores not seen before. All right, so on this episode, we started out with Dolores and her kids, and I did have to take some notes. It's been a very busy week. So we started out with Dolores and her kids, her son and her daughter at her townhome that she's renting. So she's rented this townhome while her house is still under renovation. She's been waiting on Frank Senior to finish the work. And we find out also that she's no longer living with David, her boyfriend. Where we also find out later on that her and David really don't see much of each other anymore. So pretty much they're not together anymore. And I don't know. I was not surprised about it. If you've been following Jersey from seasons before, David really didn't even seem that much interested in Dolores. He seemed to be more interested in Frank Sr. and Frank Jr., Dolores' son. So I don't know, something was kind of weird there. And I'm not saying he's gay, but it was kind of weird that he seemed to be more in touch with the guys than with her for whatever reason. But so she pretty much lets us know that she's not really seeing him anymore. So she don't want the kids to waste money living anywhere else, so she's allowing them to stay at the townhouse with her. That's cool. And the daughter's having a problem with Frank Sr. And the thing is that they explain more of the family dynamic, as far as pretty much it's where Dolores raised those two kids by herself, and she made the statement that Frank Sr., their dad, was just out and about with his different whores, as she could say. And Wendy Williams, she called Dolores the Black Dolores. She's been saying it for many seasons since Dolores has been on the show. I guess from her, maybe she tans a lot. She comes across as she almost looked like she is a black woman. Like I may be lighter than Dolores on some episodes, it appears anyway. So then we have Gia, which is Teresa's daughter, and I'm thinking more than likely, and this is really smart of them, that Gia is kind of sort of like a housewife. I really believe all of them are getting checks on that show, which is really a good thing. I like my sweater. Tarjay representing the black designers for Black History Month. I really love my sweater. Anyway, so Gia, we're seeing more of her and her sisters, and they're all beautiful girls. So I mean, it's good camera time for them. And the way that she's in confessionals now, I'm like, okay, Gia is cashing checks, which is very good. But all in all, I'm kind of tired of Teresa and her entire family. I really think Jersey needs to recast, but they are still a little entertaining, so I am tuning in. So we have Gia, and she's trying to have it where Melania makes amends with the Uncle Joe, because the previous episode they had like a little falling out with the Uncle Joe, because he had made comments about their dad. And for the previous episode, I did not like the way that Gia, she came across as rude to me. No matter what her age is, she stated that she's like in her 20s now, that she's a 20-year-old, and so she's an adult. Okay, that's true. But regardless of what your age is, you still have to have respect for your elders, or even if the person's not older than you, if they have that title or role of being a person that's like your aunt, your uncle, anyone that's in those particular roles in the family, you still have to give due respect. No matter, you're never too grown. You're never like, to me, you're never old enough to disrespect someone, that's especially like your grandparent, your mom, your dad, anyone that's like of, I would say, guardianship of you. So um she's trying to get Melania to make amends also with their Uncle Joe, and hopefully he will also understand that it's not cool to talk about their dad anyway. And regardless of the things they have went through as a family and the things that happen. And however he see their father is doing things wrong, he should not bash their dad, especially on national TV. So Jill also, she's making a move with her song that went viral a few years ago. What was it? Waking up in in the middle of the night. I don't know, something like that. That little song that she made when she was little, it went viral. So now she's making sweatshirts with a line from the song or whatever. Make your money, girl. Anyway. So we have the guys that meet up in Jersey. They know how to really the guys really know how to show up for the camera. Like, it's not odd or crazy. It's where they come and they can have like a little drama themselves. They carry on like women. So we have the two Joes. That's Melissa's husband, Joe Gorga, and also Marge's husband, whose name is also Joe. And we have Frank Sr., who's not married to Dolores, but it's just like there's here, he's Dolores' ex-husband, but I don't know. They seem to have such a great relationship as ex-husband and wife. But he shows up too, and he's a smart man because I'm quite sure he's getting his check. So those guys meet up for lunch. You know, of course, they are being guys talking about who can get the most sex, most girls, whatever. And then they also bring up the thing about Jackie's husband Aiden, about him cheating on Jackie, and this is something that Jackie did admit, that her husband did cheat on her. And so the thing is that Marge brought all this up, but Marge is like, don't go around trying to paint a pretty picture and dig in other people's lives when you have things going on yourself. So it's like, really, yeah, the tables have been turned on Jennifer. So we have that going on. And then Frank Sr., he also states about how him and his daughter is clashing because he has not finished the renovation. So, okay. Then we go to Teresa's boyfriend, Louis. I think it's Louis. He put together the get together at his home to try to bring together the family, Teresa girls and Joe Gorga from when they fell out. And he's really into all of this ritual stuff and trying to heal them men, which is good because that's something that they family need. And he had them to sit down, and he asked them to write on paper their feelings, but they decided to talk, and I'm quite sure that probably came from the producers. Just go ahead and talk it out so we can catch this on camera. And so the girls, they do end up talking things over with Joe, and they seem to get an understanding and everything. I don't know, it's just something weird about Teresa's man. Hopefully this is a good catch for her, and someone that's going to be good for her, good to her, because she has been through a lot. But I don't know, it's kind of, I don't know, he kind of seems untrustworthy or whatever. So then we have Jackie and her husband. They meet for lunch, and while they're meeting out for lunch, he tried to get her to order something to eat, and she would not order anything to eat. She said something about the time, as if it was too early to eat. So if you've been watching the show from previous seasons, even from the beginning when Jackie came into the show, I always noticed how the camera would catch her eating nothing while the other ladies eat. And those ladies eat. Like, they really have some food on this show. And it's like we will always see Jackie not eating anything. And she did admit before that she had like an eating disorder. So it seems to be something that's came back. I don't know if it's something that ever goes away, but it seems to be something that she's dealing with now. And she talks to her husband about it, and he even mentions that the kids have showed concern about her not eating anything, and she kind of breaks down. So this is a serious problem that she's having now, like with her eating disorder. And she'll say how she don't eat, but she's really hungry, but she's so afraid that she's gonna gain weight because she was heavier when she was younger, and I guess it took her a while to lose the weight. So that is something that she seems to be suffering with. Her husband seemed to be a little uncomfortable talking about it. So I was kind of thinking, okay, is this something she's doing for the show? You know, just to have a storyline on the show, but if it's genuine, then I'll say that's brave of her, and maybe this could help people out there in the world that's also dealing with an eating disorder. And hopefully she's just not doing this for a check, and this is something that will really help her. So I don't know, my heart goes out to her, but I hope it's genuine, that she's not just putting up a front for the camera. But her husband, he suggests to her that she go and get therapy because she needs to get help. All right. So let's see. We have Tiki Barber and his girlfriend. I don't know. They don't seem interesting, so nothing's happening there. And so we have Jackie, who throws a party at a local, it seems like a local pub, like a keg party. And everyone comes over, including Jennifer. And once Jennifer and Aiden arrives, then you know, it comes up again where it's talking about Jennifer husband not being faithful to her and everything. And then Jen tells Dolores that Jackie was questioning their friendship, because Jackie had mentioned earlier during the episode that she didn't really think Dolores was on Jennifer's side, that Dolores is more on Marge's side, and Dolores is real friends with Marge. So of course Jen took that as that Dolores is not really her friend, and that she's standing behind Marge because Marge is the one who brought up the information. But all in all, Dolores is just stating that she's pretty much saying that Jennifer's she agrees with everyone that Jennifer's been going around bragging about her life being perfect when it has not been perfect, and that she even tried to dig up stuff on other people, which is not cool. And so now the tape is turned on her. So of course, Dolores, she's trying to defend and say that no, she's not on anyone's side. And then Marge standing there, and she was like, "But you're closer to me." It's kind of really ridiculous what they have going on. And so Jackie was also stating that Dolores is closer with Marge, and she needs to be real with Jennifer. And so they get into an argument. And the thing is that Dolores makes the statement that I don't have time for this, looking at Jackie, calling Jackie the this. And Jackie was like, "Don't call me this. Don't say that to me. I'm not this, you know?" And so they get up in each other's face. Like Dolores really gets crunk. Like, really, really crunk. So that's how it ends. But my whole thing is, oh, and one more thing. Little Miss Teresa, she comes along, and I really try to like Teresa, but it's always something that she will do that will really make me think of, you know what, I'm tired of this lady on TV. So she comes along, and she really want to say that what Marge did to Jennifer is the same as what she did to Jackie the previous season, where she came to Jackie's husband's birthday party, and she ran around to several people in earshot of Jackie and her husband friends, making the statement that she heard rumors about Jackie's husband sleeping with other ladies at the gym. And she's comparing that to Marge spilling the tea about Jennifer's husband actually having an affair with someone that worked in his office. There's no comparison, Teresa. And that's the thing. Like Dolores, she's all up in Jackie's face, and she can get aggressive with everyone, but it's like she's never real when it comes to Teresa. And Teresa is supposed to be someone that she grew up with, someone that's truly her friend, and someone she truly knows. And it's like you could never say anything to your friend to help her get a better understanding of the things that she's doing and what she says. And it's I don't know. It's like she's always giving Teresa a pass. So that's the only thing that irks my nerves about Jersey and the cast they have now. I really would like for them to shake up the cast, because we've been dealing with Teresa and her family for so many years now. It's kind of like the Kardashians. Be done now. Be gone. Okay? All right. So we will see what happens next week, as far as with Dolores and Jackie being up in each other's face. And This is the third episode, and maybe it's gonna turn out to be really good. We'll see what else is to come. All right, thank you guys so much for checking out my video. Please click like, leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel if you have not. I hope you continue to have a great weekend, and thank you very much. Bye.